I am Nurin Razmyn, and this is Nightline, news making the headlines. GISBH CEO among 22 charged with being members of organised crime group. Also, construction sector records a 17.3% growth in the third quarter of 2023. Global Equine Services and Business Holdings Sendirian Berhad, GISBH Chief Executive Officer Datuk Nasiruddin Muhammad Ali and his wife Azura Mat Yusof were charged in the Selayang Sessions Court on Wednesday with being members of an organised crime group. Also charged was son of Al-Arkam founder Ashari Muhammad, Muhammad Adib At-Tarmimi and 19 other individuals.
The accused included Muhammad Shukri Muhammad Noor, Muhammad Afdaluddin Latif, Muhammad Shayuti Omar, Muhammad Fazil Mat Jasin, Muhammad Dirar Fakrul Razi, Muqta Tajuddin, Muhammad Fajrul Islam Khalid, Abu Ubaidah Ahmad Shukri, Suhaimi Muhammad, Hasnan Abdul Hamid and Muhammad Zahid Ashar alias Natsri. Others were Khalilatul Zalifa Muhammad Jamil, Nurjana Omar, Hamima Yaqub, Asmat alias Asmanira Muhammad Ramli, Nurul Jana Idris, Siti Salmia Ismail, Siti Haja Ismail and Mahani Kasim. The 13 men and 9 women said they understood the charges after they were read out separately before Judge Lailatul Zuraida Harun alias Harun. No pleas were recorded as the case is under the jurisdiction of the High Court. They are all accused of being members of an organised crime group, GISBH, at a premises in Banda Country Homes, Rawang, between October 2020 and September 11, 2024. The accused, aged between 27 and 72, were charged under the Penal Code, which is punishable by imprisonment of between 5 and 20 years upon conviction. Judge Lailatul Zuraida ordered the bail application to be made in the High Court. She set December 23rd for mention of the case.
Meanwhile, more than 30 other individuals associated with GISBH and detained under the Security Offences Special Measures Act 2012 SOSMA are still being investigated. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein said that 22 individuals out of 60 previously detained were charged in the Selayang Sessions Court on Wednesday.
Kita tangkap SOSMA lebih kurang 60 orang. But after that, apabila kita berurusan dengan pihak AG Chambers dan keterangan yang ada, kita dapat menuduh 22 orang. So hari ini tuduh masih ada siasatan lagi. Yang still alive pun ada, kita masih cari lagi.
The construction sector recorded a 17.3% growth in the third quarter of the year. This, as well as the nation's rise in the data center cost index, surpassing Oslo, Berlin and Sydney, demonstrates Malaysia's growing leadership in this sector.
Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, in a speech read out by Works Minister Datuk Seri Alexander Nantalinggi, stated that this marked the first double-digit growth the country had achieved since 2014, reflecting the industry's capacity to overcome adversity and emerge stronger.
Undoubtedly, this remarkable growth has far-reaching benefits for Malaysia's economy. The surge in construction activity will lead to more job creation, bolster domestic and foreign investment, and drive infrastructure development across the country, propelling Malaysia as the leader in the region's construction industry.
Anwar said this at the opening ceremony of the International Construction Week (ICW) and Malaysia International Building and Construction Industry Showcase Build Expo 2024 in Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday. He also highlighted that the construction industry was growing in tandem with the evolution of digital technology, including big data and artificial intelligence, which exponentially increased demand for data centers. Anwar, who is also the finance minister, noted that the industry had faced significant challenges during the COVID-19 pandemic from stalled projects and disrupted supply chains. As a result, the sector contracted by 19.3% in 2020 and 5.1% in 2021. However, due to the determination of industry players and strategic recovery efforts, the country witnessed positive growth of 5% in 2022 and 6.1% in 2023. Anwar also pointed out that the symbiotic relationship between construction technology and data centers would drive Malaysia's leadership in both industries. The Madani government is also taking proactive steps to ensure the country's construction industry remain competitive and sustainable following the anticipated rise in tender prices. On another matter, Anwar also said that the government is committed to implement robust training programs and upskilling initiatives to address the shortage of skilled labor in the country.
We are expanding TVET education to ensure our workforce is equipped to handle advanced technologies such as AI and robotics. This is how Malaysia will continue to meet the growing demands for skilled workers.
More than 1.12 million workers and stakeholders had registered with the Construction Industry Development Board (CIDB), a testament to the government's dedication to professionalizing the workforce.
Fees at daycare centres are expected to rise between 15% and 30% next year, with the implementation of the new minimum wage of 1,700 ringgit a month from February. In a statement on Wednesday, the Malaysian Daycare Association acknowledged the importance of ensuring its workers receive fair salaries. However, the group stated that the minimum wage hike would also increase their operational cost.
According to its chairman, Simon Ng, the fee adjustment is necessary to help daycare centre operators cope with rising costs in order to provide high-quality and safe childcare services while also ensuring the welfare of childminders and staff. The group will also engage with the government to ensure the smooth implementation of the new minimum wage within the sector. Last Friday, when tabling the 2025 budget, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim announced that the government had agreed to raise the minimum wage from 1,500 ringgit to 1,700 ringgit a month, effective February 1st. He also said that the government agreed to delay the implementation of the new minimum wage for employers with fewer than 5 employees to August 1st next year. On Tuesday, several groups representing kindergartens and nurseries announced that they will raise their fees by approximately 20 to 25% next year due to the new minimum wage. However, the fee hike must first be approved by the District Education Office or State Education Department.
The Dewan Rakyat was told on Wednesday that an interim report of the separation of powers between the Attorney General AG and the Public Prosecutor is expected to be completed next year. According to Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Law and Institutional Reform, Datuk Seri Azalina Othman said the report follows the completion of an ongoing empirical study on the matter.
Azalina stated that the separation of the AG office from the public prosecutor role will take some time, given the complexity and challenges of its implementation.
Saya tahu bahawa kita boleh datang parlimen dan buat semua pindaan, tetapi kita juga mesti mengambil kira bahawa perjalanan ini perlu mempunyai proses yang lebih dianggap sebagai proses yang lebih teratur. Contohnya, pertama, kerajaan memberikan komitmen di segi masa. Saya sendiri dah jawab jawapan bertulis, jawapan lisan. Kita akan membuat kajian empirikal dan kita telah membuat kajian empirikal. Dan kita bergerak sekali dengan jawatankuasa parlimen, iaitu select committee yang dipimpin oleh Yang Berhormat Selayang, adanya wakil daripada pihak pembangkang dan juga daripada pihak kerajaan.
Azalina noted that the government has allocated 209 million ringgit for the Legal Affairs Division BHEUU compared to 194 million ringgit last year to carry out institutional reforms. She also said that the government remains committed to the institutional reform agenda to ensure that the rights of the people are always protected. Last year, the government successfully introduced several amendments to existing laws, including the abolition of the mandatory death penalty, followed by amendments to the National Audit Act and the Insolvency Act.
In Pulau Pinang, the main suspect in the murder of a Pakistani man with a screwdriver has been remanded for a week from Wednesday at the Georgetown Magistrates Court. The remand order was issued by Magistrate Shahira Abdul Halim to facilitate probe. 5 of the suspects' friends were also remanded for 3 days until Friday. The suspect, who is a fisherman, was arrested in Tanjung Tokong on Tuesday along with 5 of his friends. To date, 14 suspects are being held to facilitate investigations into the murder case. In the 5 p.m. incident on Monday, the 48-year-old victim was involved in a commotion in Georgetown with the main suspect, which led to the murder. The victim died at a nearby clinic. In Joho, police have arrested 13 individuals, including a family member of a businessman who has claimed he was kidnapped by a group of people on October 13th. Joho Police Chief Dato M. Kumar said the suspects, aged between 23 and 58, were apprehended in several raids.
The suspects consist of 10 men and 3 women who were arrested between Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yes. We believe we have arrested the mastermind. Kecederaan mangsa adalah sikit cala-cala and all that. Kecederaan serius.
Speaking at a media conference after a function in Iskandar Puteri, Kumar said 4 of the suspects have prior criminal and drug records. 10 suspects are remanded for 7 days from Wednesday, while the remaining 3 will have their remand applied for on Thursday. The case is being investigated under the Kidnapping Act 1961.
The father and elder sister of a man who attacked the Ulu Tiram police station has been charged with supporting the Islamic State IS terror group and possession of firearms in the Kuala Lumpur High Court. Both pleaded not guilty to all charges before Judge Dato Asar Abdul Halim on Wednesday.
62-year-old Radin Imran was accused of knowingly encouraging acts of terrorism by instilling Daesh ideology in his 4 children and his wife at a house at Kampung Sungai Tiram in Joho at the end of 2014 until May 17, 2024. He is also accused of supporting terror activities by storing 4 homemade air rifles for Daesh group activities and for pledging allegiance to the group's leader, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. His daughter, meanwhile, 23-year-old Farah Sobrina, pleaded not guilty to charges of deliberately withholding information related to offences. In the attack on May 17th, 2 constables, Ahmad Azhar Fahmi Azhar and Muhammad Shafiq Ahmad Said, aged 22 and 24, were killed, while 38-year-old Corporal Muhammad Hasif Roslan was injured after being shot by an assailant who was eventually shot dead.
4 more individuals have been arrested following the arrest of a 37-year-old woman at the Pulau Pinang International Airport on Tuesday in connection with the multi-million ringgit gold investment scam. Bukit Aman Commercial Crime Investigation Department (CCID) Director Datuk Seri Ramli Muhammad Yusof said that the 4 suspects, aged between 29 and 38, were nabbed during raids in Kedah and Kuala Lumpur on Monday and Tuesday.
In a statement on Wednesday, Ramli said that all of the suspects, including the 37-year-old woman, have been remanded until October 25th to assist in investigations. To date, 69 police reports have been filed related to the scam, which had resulted in 48.5 million ringgit in losses. It was reported that the 37-year-old woman, who was wanted by police, was arrested after returning from Dubai on Tuesday. She is believed to be one of the main suspects involved in the PA jewelry and Paddy jewelry scams. Over 100 individuals were reportedly defrauded in the scheme, where gold was sold at below market prices over the past 2 months, resembling a pyramid scheme. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for cheating.
Pahang Customs Department has seized contraband cigarettes and alcohol worth more than 2.6 million ringgit, including taxes and duties, following raids on 2 warehouses in Lukut, Negeri Sembilan. One of the warehouses was also converted into a counterfeit liquor distillery.
State Customs Director Muhammad Asri Seman said that the raids were conducted on the 2 warehouses at Perdana Industrial Park in Bukit Palong on September 28th. At the first warehouse, authorities uncovered 3 million sticks of cigarettes of various brands valued at 286,118 ringgit smuggled in from a neighboring country. The enforcement officers later proceeded to the second warehouse, where they found 3,928 liters of of liquor worth 65,538 ringgit. Aside from the alcohol, they also seized processing equipment, counterfeit liquor brand labels, bottle caps with duty-paid stickers, and empty bottles of various sizes. It is believed that a syndicate has been processing counterfeit liquor for the local market at the unlicensed distillery for several months. However, no arrests were made as both premises were unoccupied. Efforts are ongoing to trace the owners of the two premises. Both cases are being investigated under the Customs Act and the Excise Act.
The Tengku Mahkota Joho, Tengu Ismael, granted an audience to Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim and Joho Menteri Besar Datuk On Hafiz Ghazi in Kuala Lumpur on Wednesday. In his official social media post, Tengu Ismael said in the meeting various recent issues related to Joho were presented and discussed. The meeting, held at a hotel, was also attended by Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh and Football Association of Malaysia FAM President Tan Sri Hamidi Muhammad Amin. Among the matters discussed are the planning and development of the national football and national team. Also on Wednesday, Tengu Ismael also granted an audience to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission Chief Commissioner Tan Sri Azam Baki at the same venue. Red Giants humble Jeon Bok at home. AFC Champions League 2 when we return.
Sebuah program istimewa membantu penonton menyelesaikan pelbagai masalah yang dihadapi setiap minggu dengan bijak. Wow, janji berbaloi! Menampilkan pelbagai produk berkualiti keperluan terkini, pakej combo dan tawaran harga paling berbaloi dan eksklusif buat penonton. Jangan ketinggalan, saksikan siaran langsung di TV9. Wow, janji berbaloi!
Wow! A woman's spirit is boundless. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smile. Because this season, we're louder than ever. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. Women's Talk is here to empower and inspire you. Join us on Women's Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Thursday.
Tompin merupakan lubuk kepada ikan layaran ni.
Ada je angler yang datang. Cari safely.
License besar lah untuk angler.
Okey, triple strike. Tangkap ikan ni dia jadi macam satu trofi lah. Kebanggaan lah.
Best seller kita adalah ladu, candy, barfi dengan jelebi lah. So, untuk Deepawali ni, kita special lah jual 100% homemade. Resipi mak saya ramai minat lah.
Setiap kejayaan bermula dengan impian yang kecil.
Jadi tak salah kalau nak berangan.
Lapar, tapi tak ada selera nak makan.
Asam picit kerabu kerang sambal belacan, menu pembuka selera confirm tambah nasi.
Manusia tak ada siapa yang sempurna, apatah lagi dalam kehidupan berumah tangga.
Jadi jangan buka aib pasangan.
Fashion menentukan identiti kita.
Menarik tu, nantikan hari Khamis.
Rezeki dalam rumah tangga.
Datang dalam pelbagai cara.
Semuanya di WH TV3.
Dan stream sekarang, ditonton.
Wanita hari ini.
We're back with sports hockey, the 2024 Sultan of Johor Cup. The under-21 national squad has yet to secure a win, and this time they slumped to their fourth consecutive defeat, losing 1-2 against Great Britain on Wednesday. Great Britain wasted no time taking the lead in the 15th minute through Drace Caden's penalty stroke. Stunned, the young Tigers ramped up the pressure and Che Nur Akil Rula finally equalized for Malaysia 16 minutes later. Despite Malaysia's best efforts to back into the game, Neve Monty delivered a late blow in the fourth quarter, scoring to secure the 2-1 win for Great Britain. This defeat marks Malaysia's fourth straight loss, leaving them with an uphill battle to salvage their pride when they face Australia on Friday. Turning to football, the AFC Champions League 2. Selangor chalked up their second win with a rousing 2-1 victory over South Korean side Jeongbuk Motor on Wednesday.
Stand-in captain Harith Haikal opened the scoring in the 31st minute when he struck from close range thanks to Umar Eshmurdov's assist. Jordanian midfielder Ali Olwan extended Selangor's advantage 2 minutes later following a poor defence by the visitors. John Book's Kwon Chan-hoon managed to reduce the deficit in the 40th minute with a close-range header. But the Red Giants held on till the final whistle, walking away with the valuable 3 points to top Group H.
Still on football, the AFC Champions League elite, Aymeric Laporte scored late in the game to lead Cristiano Ronaldo's Al Nassr to win 1-0 win away from Esteghlal on Wednesday as big spending Saudi Pro League clubs continue to dominate the league phase.
The match, which was initially set to be played in Tehran, was moved to neutral ground in Dubai due to security concerns in Iran. Al Nassr dominated the possessions throughout the first half and had more attempts on target, but still an opening goal never felt like it was coming for a long time. After the interval, Stefano Pioli's side increased the pressure and Laporte finally broke the deadlock in the 81st minute, securing the victory and the much-needed 3 points for Al Nassr. The win put Al Nassr to 4th place with 7 points, just 2 behind leaders Al Hilal, putting them in a strong position to advance to the knockout rounds.
At least 16 million Americans cast their votes. The details when we return.
A woman's spirit is boundless. So grab your coffee cups and wear your sassiest smile. Because this season, we're louder than ever. We talk career, health, finance, relationships, and everything in between. Women's Talk is here to empower and inspire you. Join us on Women's Talk every Saturday, 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Thursday.
Apabila datang, ia boleh mengambil alih kesemuanya tubuh, minda dan hidup anda. Stres bukan sekadar tekanan perasaan tetapi boleh mengancam kesihatan secara keseluruhan. Kenalilah tanda-tanda stres sejak awal dan bincang mengenainya secara terbuka. Dapatkan sokongan moral dan emosi daripada orang di sekeliling anda serta bantuan profesional di saluran yang betul. Saksikan Hello Doktor Ahad 5:30 petang di TV3.
Tompin merupakan lubuk kepada ikan layaran ni.
Ada je angler yang datang. Cari safely.
License besar lah untuk angler.
Okey, triple strike.
Tangkap ikan ni dia jadi macam satu trofi lah. Kebanggaan lah.
Best seller kita adalah ladu, candy, barfi dengan jelebi lah. So, untuk Deepawali ni kita special lah jual 100% homemade. Resepi mak saya ramai minat lah.
MHI sepanjang minggu. Analisis Belanjawan 2025, strategi memacu ekonomi rakyat dan negara. Nampak remeh tapi tidur yang cukup penting untuk tubuh kekal sihat. Kenali ikan pemusnah, ancaman kepada habitat dan ekosistem hidupan sungai. Saman malu atau fitnah, fahami undang-undang kes libel di mahkamah. Juga penstrukturan semula hutang peribadi dalam soal wang. MHI Isnin hingga Jumaat di TV3 dan ditonton.
At least 5 people were killed when armed assailants launched a deadly terror attack on Turkey's state-run aerospace company in the capital Ankara on Wednesday. Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya said that at least 14 others were injured in the terrorist attack on the Turkish Aerospace Industries TUSAS headquarters on the outskirts of Ankara. 2 attackers were killed. The attack was first reported around 3:30 p.m. local time before a series of explosions and gunshots were heard at the facilities. The cause and perpetrators of the blast and subsequent gunfire remain unclear. The explosion occurred as a major trade fair for the defense and aerospace industries was taking place in Istanbul, which was visited this week by Ukraine's top diplomat. The Zionist military carried out multiple airstrikes in the Lebanese port city of Tyre on Wednesday, shortly after threatening residents and ordering them to leave.
According to the Zionist military, who provided no evidence, the bombing of the city was due to military actions by Hezbollah. Lebanese officials said only about 14,500 people were still in Tyre, thousands of them displaced from other parts of the south. Meanwhile, the forces have also allegedly confirmed the death of a senior Hezbollah official, Hashim Saifuddin, after finding his body in a bunker where he was eliminated 3 weeks ago in Beirut. Saifuddin, who was one of Hassan Nasrallah's main successors, was killed along with 25 other people at an alleged intelligence headquarters in the Beirut neighborhood of Dahiyeh. Hezbollah, however, has yet to comment. Meanwhile, the Zionist siege entered its 19th day in northern Gaza on Wednesday, with Palestinians continuing to be forced from their homes because the Zionist military is targeting shelters, schools and hospitals. In Jabalia refugee camp, Zionist forces stormed 3 schools, forcing the Palestinians sheltering there to leave at gunpoint. The Zionist military also torched homes to force people to move to the south of the camp as it continues preventing food, medicine and humanitarian aid from reaching northern Gaza. Elsewhere, ambulances were seen rushing to Al Ahli Arab Hospital, carrying casualties following a Zionist strike that hit a water well in Gaza City. The city said 2 workers were killed and 3 others were wounded in the strike.
Some updates on the 2024 U.S. election. 2 weeks to Election Day and millions of Americans are voting every day, either early in person or by returning mail-in ballots. News reports were citing that more than 16 million Americans had voted only as of early Tuesday.
According to election officials, the early voters were expected to reach 19 million around noon Tuesday. For reference, more than 150 million total ballots were cast in 2020. This year, in the key state of Georgia, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger said Sunday that he expects up to 70% of the votes in his state will be cast before Election Day. According to the data from Catalyst, there are some hints that Republicans may be cutting into the Democratic edge in early voting. The data added that more Republicans than Democrats have cast ballots in Nevada, and the parties are on par in North Carolina. That might cause concern for Democrats who remember 2020, when Democratic mail-in votes were critical to Joe Biden's victory. It could also simply mean Republicans are doing more to encourage early voting. Meanwhile, polls showed that Kamala Harris had a slight lead over Donald Trump with 46% to 43%. Harris's lead in the 6-day poll that closed on Monday was similar to her 45% to 42% advantage over Trump in a Reuters Ipsos poll from the previous week.
Over in the Philippines, rescuers waded through chest-deep floodwaters on Wednesday to reach residents trapped by Tropical Storm Trammy, which has killed at least 14 people and forced thousands to evacuate as it barreled towards the east coast. According to officials, at least 12 people in the city of Naga had died from the storm, while the Bicol Regional Civil Defense Office said that 2 people had died in Catanduanes province. At least 32,000 people have also fled their homes in the northern Philippines as the storm edges closer to the country's main island of Luzon. Torrential rains driven by the storm has turned streets into rivers, submerged entire villages and buried some vehicles in volcanic sediment set loose by the downpour. In the meantime, a severe cyclonic storm is set to pummel the coast of India and Bangladesh on Thursday, spurring authorities to cancel train services and begin evacuating thousands of people from vulnerable sites.
According to Indian weather officials, Cyclone Dana, now over the Bay of Bengal, is expected to strengthen and make landfall late on Thursday on India's east coast and the south coast of Bangladesh. Officials said that rains and strong winds were already lashing parts of India's coastal state of Odisha, which is prone to cyclones. The state districts of Bhadrak cancelled more than 200 train services and shut schools until Friday. Meanwhile, officials in neighboring Bangladesh also warned fishermen and put southern ports on alert. Heavy to extremely heavy rainfall expected over the next 3 days is expected to damage homes, roads and power lines while bringing flooding and landslides.
Look as zombies surprise passengers aboard a running bullet train on Japan's high-speed railway network. With that, I'm Nurin Razmyn. Thank you for tuning in and stay safe, Malaysia.